Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to Islamic Guidance and Speakers Corners Debates. I have a question for an individual called Piers Morgan. But first, watch these clippings.
And executing them, kidnapping young children when they're killing babies in their cribs. We can agree that's war crime, right?
Okay, babies.
Can we?
Surely, of course, 100%.
Right.
But babies in the crib. Sorry, what's the evidence for that?
You don't believe that happened?
Sorry, CNN, the White House, Sky News, which you work for, all say it's.
I don't work for Sky News.
Well, your
I did work at CNN. I saw one reporter who retracted it because she wasn't sure about the source.
It's unconfirmed by the White House.
But then the Daily Telegraph and the Jerusalem Post and other sources then did publish pictures
CNN,
which indisputably show babies have been killed.
No, it showed one baby who's been charred, and that picture has been put up on Twitter and has been refuted by many people saying that it's actually AI.
That's completely untrue.
That is true. What's your source? What's your source?
There's been a thorough investigation into the claim that was put up there by some rogue person on Twitter that it was AI. It's been completely disproven.
Okay, let me ask
that picture, which was published on the Telegraph, is a genuine.
What's your source?
Picture.
What is your source?
Are you seriously arguing that babies weren't killed?
No, I didn't say that.
Well, what are you saying?
I'm saying, give me a source.
Yeah.
You know full well you've been fired from the Daily Mirror for fake images. So you know full well about the
I didn't accept they were fake.
Exactly. The UK government did.
Yeah, they did.
So
because the UK government, just to be clear,
sure,
had waged, in my view, an illegal war in Iraq.
So you're allowed to go against the government, and I'm not allowed to go against the Israeli government. Then if you have pro-Palestinian activists who are saying, actually, we need to see a source, shouldn't they be entitled to that? No, excuse me. Primary source in academia, I know you've done a journalism degree, which is, frankly, is not relevant to what we're talking about here anyway.
Probably is to journalism, yeah.
No, it's not to this conflict, but we academics require primary source evidence in order to make it.
The Daily Telegraph said they verified the picture.
That's a secondary source.
You may say
that's secondary source.
You may say
that's a secondary source.
Well, you may say you don't think it's genuine. I don't agree with you.
But there are two survivors from this who spoke to Israeli media. There's a common sense thing. You just have to look at the scale of the destruction, and it's clear that 1,200 men armed with rocket-propelled grenades and machine guns did not do all of this. But at midday on October the 7th, the army revived the Hannibal Directive, put it into effect. 70 vehicles were hit. At least in some of the cases, everyone in the vehicle was killed.
The Israeli military does not deny the report.
The peculiarity of the days after October 7 is that the Israeli media and subsequently the international media choose to focus not on the very real and extensive crimes that Hamas and others did commit, but on crimes they did not commit. And this had two focuses. In the days immediately after, it's to do with babies. The most dramatic one is we see an allegation that there were 40 babies killed, many of them beheaded. This is very simple to deal with because we have a comprehensive list of the dead. We know that 2 babies are killed on October the 7th. One is a 10-month-old child who is hit by a bullet fired through a safe room door. The other is a child who dies after an emergency cesarean, a Bedouin child, in fact. Now, any story about babies that does not relate to those 2, and there are a lot of stories about babies, is not true. We know it's not true.
Now watch what happens when he interviews Dili Hussein. Watch this.
Come to an agreement.
What's your interpretation of terrorism?
Terrorism is an act of violence targeting children and civilians to advance the political.
Correct. Is that what Hamas did on October the 7th?
Is that what you think? Is that what you think?
I'm asking you.
I don't believe it was an act of terrorism. No.
You don't?
No.
Okay. Even though they literally did what you just articulated as a definition of terrorism.
Do you have proof that they targeted women and children and civilians specifically? What's the proof?
I'll tell you the proof.
What's the proof? The GoPro videos.
Oh, you don't think it happened?
Oh, the GoPro videos.
So also, like the doctor, you deny...
No. I've seen the videos. I'm a journalist. I've authenticated the videos. Right. I've seen the videos.
Right.
But show me the proof that women and children were specifically targeted as opposed to...
They were literally burned alive in homes.
Okay, where's the proof?
People were beheaded.
Proof.
Babies were killed.
Okay, where's the proof?
People were beheaded.
Proof.
Babies were killed.
Name me one child. One child was beheaded. Name me one child that was beheaded, and I will mourn and condemn with you.
I just said people were beheaded. I didn't say a child.
No primary subject.
Just to be clear, you think that the slaughter of 1,200 people, the raping, the maiming, the incinerating, the mass murder that went on that day by a group whose own spokesman, the Hamas spokesman, said days after that, on television, on camera, that Hamas was wedded to committing the same act again and again and again, as often as it could, which actually is the purest personification of the genocide that you're talking about. You don't condemn that?
You're being dishonest. There is no evidence.
No, I'm not.
There's no evidence of rape, and I ask your viewers.
Absolute nonsense.
Yes, it's absolute nonsense that there's systematic rape, and if you are being dishonest intentionally, you are helping the Israeli regime continue its genocide by justifying it through dishonesty. So that's up to you to decide. There's no evidence of systematic rape, and just like the beheadings,
there has been clear reported evidence of rape and sexual abuse. You only want to deny that there was rape. You don't want to deny the incineration or the beheadings or the mass murder of Holocaust survivors, the kidnapping of several hundred people, including babies. Do you condemn any of that, or do you think all of that is justified?
Look, yes, you're trying to play with words, and that's fine, as long as you're not trying to just. Well, you're playing because there's no evidence of beheadings. You're just taking the dishonest Israeli regime's account, which they have no evidence, and people have written articles about
there was
this.
demonstrable, proven evidence that people were beheaded. Provable evidence. And
so
more than that, we know from Hamas's own video coverage of what they were doing in real time that they proudly broadcast to the world. They didn't try and hide this. I'm just curious why you, who is so incensed by what you see as Israeli genocide, why you would not be equally incensed by genocidal behavior from Hamas that day.
No, you're not being honest, and that's where did they broadcast this footage of beheadings, Hamas, to the world? Can you put it right now where you have?
No, I didn't say they broadcast the beheadings. There was evidence found of people who'd been beheaded. That was not broadcast. But
can
what
you show
was
the footage?
Was the want. I didn't say there was footage of the beheading. I said there was evidence found that people had been beheaded, right? But I would also say to you that what was broadcast by Hamas, of Hamas slaughtering people and kidnapping people, I'm proudly boasting about it, something you seem to be smirking about. I'm just curious what you feel.
I'm smirking at you.
Why?
Because you are clearly being dishonest. If there were people, innocent people anywhere, whether in Palestine or elsewhere, who were killed by a soldier, by anyone, that is of course unacceptable. But then these claims of systematic rape and these claims of these are dishonest claims. People have done hard work to prove that there is no evidence for these systematic rapes and beheadings, and these were used as propaganda to justify the beginning of this Holocaust in Gaza. In the day and age, Piers, in the day and age when everyone has cameras, and there are cameras all over the place, show us the evidence. Show us the evidence. Especially in Israel, which is a society which has cameras all over the place. But you don't have footage of any beheadings, and you don't have any footage of any rape. I wonder why.
The other wave of atrocity stories that began very quickly, which is to do with sexual violence, and particularly the Israeli assertion that it was widespread and systematic. To be clear, in the film, we are not saying that there were no rapes on October the 7th. We simply don't know. What we are saying is that there simply is not the evidence. There's not the forensic evidence, there's not the visual evidence, there's not the photographic evidence, and there is not the witness evidence to support the allegation of widespread and systematic rape.
Now this is really embarrassing, Piers. Extremely embarrassing. At least 3 people have asked you on your show, where is the proof? And you have not been able to present the proof. Now, I'm not very fond of watching your show, Piers Morgan Uncensored, but in the small minimum videos that I've seen, I found at least 3 people. Now, I don't know how many more people would have asked this question, but now you have to present some sort of proof. But I'm thinking how you would do that. Here's an idea for you.
In China, why are they making so many fake babies? What's the purpose behind it? I'll explain it.
Now, whatever the reason, you can actually use it for your media channel, and to avoid further embarrassment, you can actually use it for your channel and justify the genocide. You once said about Madonna that she picked the wrong date for Halloween. Watch this.
The Grammy Awards, well, not the actual awards themselves, but this, Madonna, looking like she got the wrong date for Halloween.
You, by the way, could do the same. You can buy 40 of these babies and chop their heads off. Now, you can pick the wrong date for the Halloween as well. All you have to do is chop their heads off, and then you buy fake blood from the party shop, okay? And apply it on those necks, across those necks. And don't worry about how much those 40 fake babies are going to cost you. What you can do when the date comes close, when the Halloween date comes close, you can actually go to the shop, the party shop from where you bought the fake blood. You can go there and say, these are 40 babies and you might need them for Halloween. And so they would buy it from you, because if they would say, Piers Morgan came here, it must be frightening. Once you have uploaded these pictures of beheaded babies, do not try to sell those beheaded babies on Facebook near the date of Halloween, because you will get caught. And for my viewers, if you like my video, don't forget to hit like, share and subscribe. Take care and goodbye.